The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, dotted with glittering stars and distant suns, as if the galaxy itself were holding its breath. Among the countless systems, a human warship glided silently, cutting through the void with a precision that was almost unnatural. Its hull, sleek and metallic, reflected faint starlight, making it seem like a phantom drifting among the planets. From the outside, it looked small, almost ordinary compared to the massive alien dreadnoughts that patrolled this sector. But anyone who underestimated it would pay a heavy price. The ship moved calmly, as if it belonged here, though it had just crossed a border no human had ever dared enter. Within the control room, the crew of humans moved with quiet efficiency. Their faces were calm, almost bored, yet their eyes scanned every readout with sharp attention. Commander Hale stood at the center, fingers lightly tapping the console. "They keep course steady," he said softly, his voice carrying authority without urgency. The crew didn't rush. There was no panic, no fear. They had trained for this moment, and they had prepared for everything the galaxy could throw at them. Outside, alien sensors flickered, detecting the ship but reporting anomalies no one could explain. It was as if the human vessel was invisible to their eyes, yet somehow present in the most dangerous way possible on the surface of a nearby planet. An alien command center lit up an alarm. Screens flashed red as the alien fleet detected the intruder. "It's just one ship," a young officer shouted, disbelief cracking his voice. "We are facing thousands of our enemies, and now it's just one human vessel." The older commander frowned, pacing. "Do not underestimate it," he said. "You do not know what humans are capable of." Panic rippled through the control room. The aliens had faced countless enemies, but there was something different about this single human ship. It radiated calm power, a silent warning that screamed louder than any weapon. Back on the human ship, the crew continued their tasks with quiet precision. Sensors detected the alien fleets converging, but no alarms blared. Hale leaned over a holographic display, tracing the positions of the approaching alien ships. "Let them come," he murmured. His calmness was unnerving, even to his own crew. They knew he had a plan, one that would make the aliens regret every decision they had ever made. As the first alien scouts approached, scanning beams stretching like fingers into the void, the humans prepared their response. There was no frenzy, no panic, just the quiet, calculated anticipation of a predator ready to strike. The alien scouts reached the human ship and froze. Their sensors could not read the vessel's energy signatures correctly, "Commander." One of them whispered, "Their shields. They're wrong. Nothing like we've ever seen." The alien commander's antennae twitched in agitation. "Fire," he ordered, hoping sheer numbers could overwhelm this single human ship. Beams of alien energy shot forward, but the humans were ready. With a single precise movement, the ship activated its defensive grid. The alien blasts bounced off harmlessly, leaving the attackers momentarily stunned. The humans didn't even glance at the enemy fire. Their focus remained on the larger mission. Then came the warning shot. Without haste, the human warship fired a small, concentrated beam toward the lead alien scout. In a fraction of a second, the scout exploded into fragments, scattering harmlessly into space. Silence followed, while the remaining alien ships froze, processing what they had just witnessed. One by one, their communication systems attempted to warn others. But the human ship was already moving, positioning itself with surgical precision. Every maneuver was deliberate, slow enough to seem effortless, fast enough to be deadly. The aliens could not comprehend the strategy, the calm dominance of a species they thought they understood, as the human warship drifted deeper into alien territory. Reports poured in from across the sector. Confusion and fear spread like wildfire. How could a single human ship withstand their attacks? How could it move with such purpose, such ease, through the most dangerous space in the galaxy? Commanders argued and shouted, but no consensus formed. The humans were an unknown variable, unpredictable and terrifying. Back on the ship, Hale watched the alien fleet scatter in panic. His face remained unreadable, yet inside, satisfaction burned. The galaxy underestimated humans, as it always did, but this would be the first of many lessons. By the time the human warship passed the first line of alien patrols, the galaxy had already begun to change. Rumors of its arrival spread faster than light. Alien politicians and generals convened emergency meetings, their fear palpable. The humans, who had entered quietly, had already shifted the balance of power. And through it all, the crew remained. Calm, silent, and deadly. They were not here to provoke war. They were here to show what humans could do when faced with a universe that assumed they were weak. In the endless dark of space, the human warship glided onward, a single spark capable of igniting a galaxy-wide storm. The galaxy had never felt silence like this. Across star systems, alien fleets hovered in confusion, scanning the space where the human warship had disappeared. The single vessel had entered their territory without warning, destroyed their scouts, and then vanished as if swallowed by the void itself. Panic had spread faster than any light signal. Alien commanders were frantic, questioning their technology, their training, and even the very nature of humans. Nothing they had known could explain it. And then the signal came. It started as a faint pulse, barely noticeable on even the most advanced alien sensors. But within seconds it grew stronger, resonating across frequencies no one had ever used before. It was not an attack. It was not a threat. Yet every alien ship that received it felt the same thing: fear, confusion, and awe. Scientists tried to decode it, but the patterns made no sense. Symbols shifted, numbers rearranged themselves, and words seemed to vanish as soon as they were interpreted. "It's impossible," one alien officer whispered, staring at the readouts in disbelief. "It is not logic, it is something else." Inside the human warship, Commander Hale watched the alien reactions through hacked surveillance channels. The crew moved calmly, almost lazily, as if they were observing a game unfold. "Phase 1 complete," Hale said softly, a faint smile playing on his lips. No one questioned him. They knew that humans had long mastered the art of being unpredictable. The signal was designed to be more than communication. It was a warning, a message that humans were unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. The aliens would remember it not with words, but with fear. Back in the alien capital, panic had escalated into chaos. Councils convened urgently and fleets were redeployed, but the signal had already reached every corner. "Commander," a young officer stammered, "they are speaking to us, but not in a language we understand. It is like they are inside our minds." The older commander's antennas twitched nervously. "Focus on the meaning, not the words," he said. "Whatever it is meant to scare us, to show us our weakness." Alien fleets prepared for battle, but hesitation was spreading faster than any order. They could not understand humans, and that alone made the humans dangerous beyond measure. The human ship glided silently through the void. Sensors detected alien communications being intercepted and disrupted by their own systems. Every attempt to track or analyze the ship ended in frustration. Hale leaned over the main console. "Keep them off balance. Let them think we are just moving. Let them scramble while we observe." The crew nodded, executing maneuvers that seemed random, yet each was precise, calculated to increase confusion. The aliens could not predict them, could not catch up. Their technology was advanced, their fleets powerful. But humans had mastered something far older and more subtle: unpredictability and confidence. Then came the second pulse. It was stronger, more precise. This time it carried fragments of a message, simple words that echoed across the galaxy in every communication channel. "We see you. We know you. Choose wisely." Even though it was short, the aliens understood its meaning immediately. It was not a threat, but a promise of power far beyond their comprehension. They felt exposed, like a predator staring down another predator that had already calculated every move before the first strike. Fear spread from ship to ship, from commander to officer, from fleet to fleet. The humans had spoken, and the galaxy froze to listen. Inside the human ship, the crew remained calm. Lieutenant Vega monitored alien responses, noting their confusion and hesitation. "They are trying to attack," she said, pointing to blinking red warnings on the tactical display. But they do not know where we are. Their fleets are scattered. Hale nodded. Good, let them fight ghosts while we continue our path. Let them fear what they cannot see. The crew continued their work, adjusting the ship's position, preparing for the inevitable confrontation, while the alien fleet scrambled blindly in space. As hours passed, rumors spread across the alien galaxy. Whispers reached the smallest colonies. Humans had arrived, and a single vessel had already changed the balance of power. Entire sectors debated what to do. Some believed it was a trap, others that the humans were gods, and some thought it was the beginning of an invasion. But no one agreed on anything. Confusion reigned supreme. And all the while, the humans moved quietly, deliberately, observing the chaos they had caused without firing a single weapon. Finally, at the edge of a massive asteroid belt, the human ship paused. Hale activated a hidden console, sending the final part of their message. It was not aggressive, but it carried a silent threat. Humans had weapons, knowledge, and strategy the aliens could not imagine. For the first time, the aliens realized that this warship was not just a ship, it was a signal itself. It's a challenge that the galaxy could not ignore. Hale leaned back, watching the aliens struggle to understand, to respond, to act. Every move they made was predictable to him. Every panic-stricken decision, just another confirmation of what humans had always known. The galaxy underestimated them, and that mistake would cost everyone dearly. The human warship drifted onward, its silent presence alone capable of shaking fleets. No alarms, no explosions, no chaos. Only the slow, deliberate spread of fear and respect. The aliens had glimpsed the impossible. They had seen humans in a way no one had ever seen before. And now, the galaxy had no choice but to wait, watch, and wonder what humans would do next. The void trembled as alien fleets surged forward, hundreds of massive ships converging toward the lone human warship. For the first time, fear had shifted into anger. Alien commanders, desperate to regain control, ordered volleys of energy weapons, hoping sheer numbers could overwhelm what they still refused to fully understand. Yet as the first blasts streaked across space, the humans did not flinch. The warship glided calmly, its movements precise, almost lazy in appearance. Every alien attack was anticipated, every assault deflected, leaving the invaders stunned and exposed. Inside the human ship, Commander Hale observed the approaching fleets with measured calm. His crew moved efficiently, operating consoles, adjusting shields, and preparing weapon systems with quiet precision. Let them come closer, Hela said softly, almost to himself. Let them learn why humans are not so easy to destroy. His voice carried authority, not panic. The crew followed without hesitation. They had trained for this moment, rehearsed every maneuver, every counterattack. In contrast, the alien fleet scrambled blindly, their technology advanced but their tactics predictable. The first clash came without warning. A single alien dreadnought, massive and heavily armed, lunged at the human ship with all its firepower. Beams of energy and missiles streaked forward, leaving trails of light across the darkness. The human warship reacted in a heartbeat. Shields flared, bending alien fire harmlessly around its hull. Then came the strike. A concentrated pulse, almost invisible at first, ripped through the alien vessel. In moments, the dreadnought erupted in a silent explosion, fragments scattering into the void. Shock waves rippled through the surrounding fleets. Commands were shouted, orders scrambled, and panic spread like wildfire. The remaining alien commanders could not comprehend what they were seeing. How can one ship destroy an entire dreadnought alone? One cried, antennae trembling. Others simply froze, staring at the tactical displays as human weapons obliterated ships one by one with terrifying efficiency. It was not brute force. It was precision, strategy, and timing that no alien mind had anticipated. Their fleets were advanced, but the humans were smarter, faster, and far more adaptable. Every strike was deliberate. Every maneuver calculated to maximize confusion and destruction. Inside the human ship, the crew worked with a calm, almost unnatural. Lieutenant Vega monitored incoming fire, while Lieutenant Park calculated the best angles for counterattacks. Hale oversaw everything, a silent conductor orchestrating a deadly symphony. "Focus on their command ships," Hale ordered. "We don't need to destroy everything. Just show them what happens when humans decide to fight back." The crew nodded, adjusting weapons and shields with quiet determination. In minutes, the aliens realized that even their largest, most heavily armed vessels could not touch the human warship. Panic had spread through the alien ranks. Some tried to retreat, others launched desperate kamikaze attacks, but the human ship anticipated every move. It moved like a ghost, appearing where it was least expected, striking where the aliens felt safe, and vanishing before retaliation could land. Entire fleets were shredded with surgical precision, leaving survivors shaking with disbelief. "They are everywhere and nowhere," an alien officer whispered, voice trembling. We cannot fight them, cannot understand them." Fear was no longer abstract. It had taken form in the human vessel, cold, silent, and unstoppable. The destruction was not mindless. Humans did not annihilate indiscriminately. They targeted key vessels, removing threats while leaving minor ships unharmed, a deliberate message. Written in fire across space, alien commanders began to realize the terrifying truth. Humans were not just stronger or faster, they were smarter, more cunning, and utterly unpredictable. Their technology was advanced, but their tactics were revolutionary. It was a lesson in control, one that would echo through the galaxy for decades. Hours passed, and the alien fleets were in chaos. Many ships fled, abandoning formation there. Crews shaken to the core. Others hesitated, unsure whether to continue the fight or surrender. Commanders huddled in their flagships, debating the impossible. Every decision seemed wrong, every tactic useless. Meanwhile, the human warship continued to move calmly, as if through a peaceful starfield, unbothered by the chaos it had created. Hale observed, silent but satisfied, knowing that the galaxy had now truly seen the might of humanity. Finally, the human ship paused above a small, neutral planet. Alien scouts had begun to regroup, sending fragmented messages in fear and confusion. Hale allowed himself a faint smile. "Let them talk," he said. "Let them wonder. The galaxy has learned its first lesson about humans. We do not fight like anyone else." The crew continued their quiet work, monitoring the survivors, scanning for threats, and preparing for the next phase. The humans had shown their power, but more importantly, they had shown control. This was not destruction for its own sake. It was a statement, as the alien fleets limped away, battered and humiliated. A new feeling began to spread through the galaxy: respect. Even among those who still feared humans, there was acknowledgement of a force unlike any other. A single human warship had shattered fleets, disrupted command structures, and left an entire civilization in shock. Hale looked at the stars ahead, calm and unhurried. The galaxy had seen the impossible, and it had only just begun. Humans had arrived not to conquer, but to remind the universe that they were not to be underestimated. And somewhere, in the depths of space, the seeds of legend were quietly taking root. The galaxy trembled not from war, but from uncertainty. Alien fleets, battered and confused, had retreated to regroup, but their leaders were struggling to comprehend what had just occurred. A single human warship had destroyed ships that were considered invincible. Entire command centers had been forced to reconsider centuries of strategy, only to realize that humans did not follow any rules they knew. And then, in the silence following chaos, the humans spoke not with weapons, but with words. The human warship hovered just outside a massive alien fleet, its engines humming softly like a living presence. Commander Hale activated the communication array, sending a signal that was clear, calm, and deliberate. "We do not seek war," the message said, simple and precise, yet resonating across alien frequencies. "We seek understanding, cooperation, choice." Alien commanders froze as the words appeared in their displays, their systems struggling to interpret the tone, the meaning, the intent. Confusion replaced fear, but unease remained. Humans had power, and yet they had not used it fully.
This
alone was terrifying. Inside the fleet, debates raged. Some argued that responding could invite disaster. Others believed that ignoring the message was worse. They could destroy every ship we have. One officer shouted. And yet, they wait. They speak instead of firing. Antennas twitched nervously as more alien fleets intercepted the human signal. Across star systems, the message spread. Humans were different, unpredictable, and immensely powerful. No one knew what to expect next, and that uncertainty gripped the galaxy with an icy hand. On board the human warship, Hale watched the alien reactions with quiet satisfaction. "They're learning," he said to his crew. "This is diplomacy by presence, by control. Let them wonder who we are and what we might do." His crew moved with efficiency and calm, monitoring alien communications, scanning fleets, and preparing contingency plans. Every move was deliberate, designed to reinforce the simple truth. Humans were not ordinary. Humans did not follow patterns. And humans would not be underestimated. The first alien response arrived hours later, cautious and hesitant. A delegation of ships approached, their weapons pointed away. Shields lowered slightly, a gesture of both fear and tentative trust. The human warship remained motionless, a quiet sentinel in the void. The message was simple. We can destroy you, but we will not. Speak, and we will listen. Alien commanders transmitted their own words, trying to negotiate, to make sense of the humans' calm power. Every phrase was analyzed, every signal monitored. As the galaxy waited with bated breath, Hale smiled faintly. Notice how they hesitate. They expect aggression. They do not understand patience, strategy, or presence. That is our advantage. Lieutenant Vega nodded, watching the alien screens carefully. They are trying to test us, but they have nothing to measure us against. We are already ahead. For the aliens, the humans were a puzzle, a force outside comprehension. They had strength, weapons, and cunning, but they had also shown restraint. The combination terrified every commander who witnessed it. The negotiations, if they could be called that, continued in silence and observation. The humans did not rush, did not threaten, did not demand. Instead, they revealed carefully calibrated truths. Humans had power. Humans had strategy. And humans had the capacity to act decisively when needed. The aliens began to grasp the uncomfortable reality. These humans were not simply fighters. They were thinkers, planners, and predators in a form they had never seen. Every decision the aliens made was shadowed by the knowledge that humans were several steps ahead. Controlling the battlefield without moving an inch, rumors spread quickly through alien fleets and colonies. Whispers carried through systems. Humans do not fight like others. They strike when necessary, but they command respect first. A single ship can change the outcome of battles, reshape strategies, and force even the strongest civilizations to reconsider every assumption. Across the galaxy, fear and respect mingled in a way that had never happened before. Even the most arrogant alien leaders found themselves silently acknowledging the humans' superiority. And yet, humans were not cruel. Hale had no desire for unnecessary destruction. His mission was not to conquer or enslave it, was to demonstrate, to teach, and to negotiate from strength. As alien commanders began tentative conversations trying to find common ground, the humans remained calm. Presence alone, their controlled power, and their unshakable confidence created a new dynamic. The galaxy had seen their might, but now it saw their restraint to that. Perhaps more than firepower, inspired awe and dread alike. By the time the alien delegation retreated, the message had been received. Humans were different. They were not conquerors in the traditional sense, but they were forces to be respected, feared, and understood. The warship continued its silent patrol, moving deeper into alien space, observing reactions, preparing for the next challenge. The galaxy had been shaken, but the humans had yet to reveal the full extent of their capabilities. And somewhere, beyond the immediate fleets and star systems, whispers began to circulate. If one human warship could do this, What could an entire fleet accomplish? The calm in the void was deceptive. Aliens were regrouping, plotting, and analyzing, but the humans were already several moves ahead. The silent diplomacy of a single ship had rewritten the rules of engagement, reshaped fear into respect, and forced every civilization to reconsider their assumptions. In the endless darkness, the human warship glided on, a quiet harbinger of change, leaving the galaxy to wonder what would happen next and who would dare challenge them again. The galaxy's surface glittered with activity, but beneath the stars, darkness thrived. Aliens had begun to whisper about the humans, not just their power, but their unpredictability. Fleet after fleet had felt the sting of a single warship, and now the galaxy's hidden secrets stirred uneasily. Unknown to most, a conspiracy had been brewing for centuries, alien factions quietly planning to dominate weaker civilizations. Weapon caches hidden on remote planets, fleets ready to enforce tyranny across star systems, and now humans were in the middle of it, seeing what no one else had ever uncovered. Inside the human warship, Commander Hale watched the reports with calm precision. "They think they control the galaxy," he said softly, his eyes scanning the maps and intercepted communications. "But they are blind to what is truly happening." His crew moved efficiently, hacking alien networks, decoding secret transmissions, and observing hidden bases without ever alerting the conspirators. Every intercepted message confirmed what Hal already suspected. The galaxy's strongest powers were planning to enslave those who could not defend themselves. Humans had arrived just in time. On a distant planet, an alien general convened with his inner circle. "Humans have no right to be here," he hissed, frustration clear in every motion. "They do not belong. They have no idea what we have built." His advisors nodded nervously, unsure whether to prepare for war or retreat, but they were already behind. The humans were everywhere at once, moving unseen, intercepting messages, and dismantling their plans silently. Every weapon cache that could have triggered mass destruction was neutralized before anyone knew it existed. Entire fleets were compromised, not by force, but by human cunning and foresight. The alien conspirators began to panic. Communications grew frantic, commands scrambled, and secrecy unraveled. How could a single ship, a small human vessel, expose their plans so easily? Every attempt to secure information failed. Every hidden fleet discovered was already under human surveillance. The humans were not reckless. They were precise, surgical in their approach, and that made them terrifying. For the first time, the conspirators realized that they were being played in it with brute force. But with intelligence, patience, and strategy, on board the human ship, Lieutenant Vega reported quietly. "They are activating emergency fleets, but their moves are predictable. They underestimate how fast we adapt." Hale's fingers traced the holographic display. "Good," he said softly. "Let them make mistakes. Every move they make will show us their weaknesses, their fears, and their true intentions. Then we act." The crew continued silently, intercepting transmissions, sending subtle signals to mislead alien forces and dismantling traps before they could even be sprung. It was not war. It was controlled revelation. As hours turned into cycles, the humans revealed their presence in strategic locations across the galaxy. Alien leaders began to understand the impossible. Humans were not just fighters or diplomats, they were operators of intelligence networks, masters of strategy and silent guardians of balance. They neutralized threats without firing a single large weapon, turning conspiracy into exposure, turning fear into compliance. Aliens began to whisper among themselves, acknowledging the terrifying reality. Humans were everywhere, yet nowhere. Watching, waiting, and knowing. Despite the efficiency, humans did not seek to humiliate. They offered warnings, guidance, and calculated restraint. The message was clear. The galaxy could change for the better, or collapse under its own greed. Secret plots had been uncovered, fleets immobilized, weapon depots neutralized. Civilizations once at risk of enslavement had a chance to survive, all without the humans engaging in overt warfare. The power of restraint of intelligence became a weapon far stronger than firepower. Alien factions began to fracture. Some leaders, fearing exposure, tried to negotiate, but others wanted retaliation. The galaxy teetered on the edge of chaos, unsure whether humans were saviors, invaders, or something else entirely. Hale observed the unfolding turmoil with calm detachment. "Let them fight among themselves," he said. "Their disunity is our advantage. The galaxy will learn that humans do not need to destroy to lead, just need to see the truth." Every intercepted plan, every hidden agenda revealed, strengthened humanity's position. While alien conspirators realized too late that they had already lost control. Finally, after days of quiet operations, the humans paused, letting the galaxy breathe. Ships returned to their normal courses, but the consequences of exposure rippled across star systems. Alien commanders, humbled and wary, could no longer act with impunity. Those who had once plotted oppression now knew they were being watched by a power that could strike anywhere, anytime, with intelligence unmatched by any force in the galaxy. The humans had not fired thousands of shots, they had only revealed the truth, yet it was enough to shift the balance forever. The human warship continued its silent patrol, gliding through space like a phantom that the galaxy had learned to respect. Hell turned to his crew and said, "This is only the beginning. They will test us again, they will challenge us, but they will never forget what they have seen." The galaxy now knows humans are different, stronger, smarter, unpredictable. Outside, stars glittered quietly, bearing witness to a force unlike any the universe had known. The humans had revealed the hidden agendas, exposed conspiracies, and reshaped the galaxy all without a single unnecessary death. And somewhere deep in alien command centers, fear and respect had begun to replace arrogance and certainty. The galaxy had changed, and humans had silently led the way. The darkness of space stretched endlessly, but it was no longer silent. Across star systems, alien fleets moved cautiously, scanning sectors they had once controlled with absolute certainty. Rumors of humans had spread faster than any weapon, whispered from commander to soldier, from colony to colony. The galaxy had learned a difficult truth. A single human warship had the power to change everything. Now, as remaining fleets assembled, the stage was set for a confrontation that could determine the future of countless civilizations. Commander Hale watched the approaching alien forces through the ship's observation array. Hundreds of vessels moved in formation, yet there was hesitation in every maneuver. They were organized, strong, and heavily armed, but humans had already rewritten the rules of engagement. Hale's crew worked quietly, adjusting shields, calibrating weapons, and monitoring alien communications. "They think they are ready," Hale said softly. "But they do not understand us, and that is why they will fail." His calm confidence radiated throughout the ship, giving the crew a sense of certainty that no alien fleet could break. As the alien fleets drew closer, a tense silence filled the void. No one fired first. The humans had not launched an attack, and the aliens were unsure whether to strike or negotiate. For the first time, the galaxy witnessed a standoff where sheer presence held more power than cannons or missiles. Commander knew that any misstep could be fatal.
Yes.
Every human, however, remained calm, as if the entire conflict were a controlled experiment rather than a battle. The tension was palpable. Every eye in the galaxy seemed to focus on the lone human ship that could change everything. Then Hale activated the communication array. His voice was calm, firm, and clear. "We are not here to destroy. We are here to protect. You have weapons, fleets, and plans that could enslave countless civilizations. That ends now. Choose your path, cooperate, or face consequences you cannot imagine." The words rippled across alien networks like a shockwave. Commanders froze. Messages were sent and intercepted, but the meaning was impossible to ignore. Humans were not making threats. They were presenting fact. Every fleet, every ship, every leader understood one undeniable truth. Humans were not to be underestimated. Alien factions reacted differently. Some lowered shields and attempted cautious communication. their leaders realizing they had underestimated the humans from the start. Others, driven by pride, began to reposition for battle, only to hesitate as the humans revealed their ultimate power: total control over communications, navigation, and strategic systems. The human warship could neutralize weapon systems, disrupt fleet coordination, and expose hidden plans with a thought. It was not brute force, it was precision, intelligence, and control beyond anything the galaxy had seen. Fear, respect, and awe spread like wildfire. Inside the human ship, the crew monitored every alien action. Lieutenant Vega reported calmly. They are testing us, but every move is predictable. Their pride blinds them. Hale nodded. Exactly. Let them see their own limitations. Galaxy will learn faster this way. The humans moved like shadows, placing themselves strategically to ensure maximum observation, minimum risk, and absolute influence. Even those who resisted could not hide their fear or miscalculation. It was a masterclass in restraint and dominance, and the galaxy watched in stunned silence. Hours passed and alien resistance faltered. Communication channels opened, fleets repositioned peacefully, and commanders began tentative negotiations. They had learned what humans valued: intelligence over impulse, strategy over chaos, and restraint over mindless destruction. Humans were not conquerors in the traditional sense. They were regulators, protectors, and masters of calculated power. Every alien faction now understood that to challenge humanity would be fatal, but to cooperate could preserve life and stability. Finally, Hal addressed the galaxy directly, projecting a calm and unwavering presence. We will guide, not dominate. We will protect, not enslave. But understand this: any attempt to deceive, manipulate, or harm the weak will be met with swift and certain consequences. Humans are not the strongest in muscle alone. We are the strongest in thought, strategy, and foresight. The galaxy has seen our power. Let it also see our intent. Silence followed. The words were simple, yet every fleet, every commander, every colony understood the magnitude. Humans had arrived, not as conquerors, but as a force the galaxy could not ignore. The alien fleets began to withdraw, sending cautious messages of understanding. The humans allowed it. There was no victory in slaughter, only in demonstrating what humanity could achieve through intelligence, presence, and calculated action. Across the galaxy, whispers spread. One human warship had reshaped balance, exposed conspiracies, and rewritten the rules of power. TheLegendOfHumans.com, precise and unstoppable, had begun. As the human warship drifted into the stars, Hale looked at the endless void. This is only the beginning, he said quietly. The galaxy knows us now.
Oh.
They will watch, they will learn, and they will respect what they once dismissed. And when the time comes, humanity will rise not through fear alone, but through mastery of strategy and purpose. The crew nodded silently. Outside, stars glimmered, witnesses to the awakening of a force the galaxy had never known. The humans had arrived. The galaxy had awakened. Nothing would ever be the same.